This Saturday, August 26th, we'll see the return to the ring of Jared Big Baby Anderson in a fight that is scheduled as a fast turnaround for Big Baby, because he has been known to be active, but this time it's pretty fast. He last fought July 1st, 2023 against Charles Martin, and he won a unanimous decision in that fight, though the young 23-year-old heavyweight contender showed some vulnerabilities there. And it's looking like he wants to get right back at it. But interviews have had him state that he's not necessarily in it to be the best he can be, but he's in it because he's hungry for that coin. At the age of 23, it's understandable that he may have his eyes focused on the purses and the receipts of what comes with those purses, but he had better focus up, because this 10-round bout could get away from him. The man that he's facing is a fighter that has a bit of experience under his belt, and there's respect there, because Andriy Rudenko is a fighter who's coming up out of the Ukraine, again, that place, and though he's 39 years old, he has a record of 35-6 with 21 KOs. He's been stopped inside the distance once himself, and he is a smaller heavyweight than Jared, standing only at 6 foot, almost 6'1". Anderson happens to be a much taller guy and much younger. So at 6'4" and a 78-inch reach, he should be able to keep Rudenko at the end of his punches. And that's not a great place to be when you have a young, strong, fast, quick-handed fighter like Jared Anderson. But as we look into this fight and what's up for Anderson in this match, he's making a quick turnaround, and the fact that he didn't look so good against Martin may be motivation to get right back at it. Though he denied that he was hurt in the fight against Martin, who was a southpaw, he did show the vulnerabilities that I said. Never looked like he was in danger of being knocked out. But for him to kind of dismiss it as was never hurt in the bout, I beg to differ. There were some instances, a couple of times, that Anderson looked like he was quite vulnerable enough to be shaken. And it looked to me more or less that Martin didn't pick up the pace or go after him. I talked about that when I did a post-fight. But in the fight game, there's a lot of funny business that goes on. Now, we know that Anderson is a future aspiration for the people who are moving him. But will he get an opportunity to be the lone man at the top? With the multiple belts that are out there, there could be opportunity for him to grab a title. But right now, it appears that Undisputed is not heavy on any of the heavyweights' mind, including the two men who hold all of the titles between them, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, who is also having a big fight this weekend in Poland. Anderson's fight is going to be at the Hard Rock hotel and casino in Tulsa. And we wonder if he is really going to be the man in this situation. If he's the main event, Efe Ajagba, who's taken on Zan Kasabuski, is another fighter in another fight on that card that could be looking up for aspirations just as Anderson. When interviewed about Efe Ajagba, he was asked if that's a future fight for him. He said though they're fighting on the same promotional group, it remains to be seen. Of course, if they throw the certain amount of dollars at the guys, they could get it on. But these two men, it's time for them to step it up. And I feel like Ajagba, who though he's on this card, he's 29. He's gonna have to start moving a little bit faster at the heavyweight division. It doesn't look like he wants to really get in there and fight the best guys. Since his unanimous decision loss in October of 2021, Ajagba has kind of moved very slow since then, with only 3 fights, 2 this year and 1 last year. We'll see what happens, but Anderson is the one that people are really high on. And will he be able to deliver against Rudenko? We don't know, but we have to tune in to find out. Rudenko has had the pleasure of sharing the ring with Zhili Zhang back in November of 2019, and he has lost once since that decision to Zhang, that TKO in December of 2021 against Vladislav Serenko, and his last victory was in January of this year against Bojan Sestic. Not the most fluid fighters, not the most athletic. So when he runs into Jared Anderson this Saturday, he's going to find that it's a different kettle of fish. But I believe that this is another showcase for Anderson, for him to come back, bounce back strongly after having the little bit of a scare that he had against Charles Martin. Again, like he said, he wasn't hurt in that fight, but he was shaken to the point where he had to wake up. Anderson has mentioned that he is broke and looking to make money. If he has depleted all of the money he's made from past fights, it might be a good idea to stop buying the gold chains and start selling them, according to Boxing News 24 article, where he had interviewed and discussed, I feel like I fell asleep and got bored in the middle rounds against Martin. That's why I got hit with a shot. He goes on to say, I'm broke. I'm looking to make as much money as I can so I can get out as quickly as I can. Remember, when you're chasing the money, it could lead to other problems. Now, Anderson is very young, but he has had the fortune of being able to enter certain camps and learn from veteran fighters around him. But that's the nuances of what happens in the gym and in fights. But he's not necessarily equipped nor adept at life yet at only 23. Do you guys remember where a 23-year-old Mike Tyson was after winning the heavyweight title at 22? Think about it. It's something that you really have to pay attention to. And I want Jared Anderson to kind of learn from others and not make his own mistakes, because it could sidetrack him. And at his age and the significance of where he is, his record of 15-0 is quite nice. 14 KOs. He has to focus up. Stop being a big baby and become a big man. It's time. But what do you think? Do you think that Jared Big Baby Anderson is going to be able to take that next step in 2024? Or is he going to need more of the Rudenkos in the world to help him along his way? It's an interesting thing, and I tell you, in the heavyweight division, one punch can show you some things that you never thought you'd see. Just ask the young man who's fighting Alexander Usyk this weekend and Dynamite Daniel Dubois, whom I think Anderson is a better young fighter than, but it remains to be seen. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about the trail that Jared Big Baby Anderson is blazing. And do you think that he is ready to take that next step after being awakened by Prince Charles Martin? It remains to be seen, but I'll keep my eye on him. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.